To think of somebody appropriate to the legacy of Sol Stetin is not a small task indeed. Joan and I put considerable attention into thinking about this. But tonight's winner, Jim Green, seems to me to fill the bill completely. I think of these words, self-educated, feisty, and principled, why they apply to the winner here, who combined his academic education with scholarship in the field. Because what is crucial about Green's work, I think, is the combination of three crucial things. One is meticulous scholarship. The second was his commitment to action throughout his entire life. Wherever people have been involved in struggle, Jim somehow manages to end up there. Third, his teaching. His teaching at Brandeis, at Warwick, at the University of Massachusetts in Boston, which has focused on both bringing to students of all sorts a solid knowledge of the field and the seriousness of going about it, and breaking into new forms of public history, films, public lectures, workshops, wherever he has gone. So it's with great honor that we bestow the Sol Stetin Award on him this evening.
Good evening. Thank you to Joan and David and the Hillman Foundation for this great honor. And I want to congratulate the other award winners. It's inspiring for me as a professor of history to be here tonight among such brilliant and dedicated journalists, people whose work advances our quest for social justice. It's a thrill to receive this award from David, a mentor, a friend, a comrade, an activist, as well as an intellectual. And thanks for that generous description of my work, David. It means more coming from you than anyone else. As you know, David was the first recipient of this award. He is a pioneer scholar and leader in our field, one who has trained the best of our labor historians. I'm tempted to say young labor historians. I'm not one anymore. My work is built on the shoulders of David Montgomery and David Brody, last year's recipient of the Sol Stetin Award. Their goal was to establish labor history as an essential subject of study in academia. It's been my goal as well, and I think we've made great progress. I will be leaving here tomorrow for the meetings of the Labor and Working Class History Association in Chicago. It will be a showcase of the exciting new research and writing taking place about workers and their struggles. You know, it wasn't that many decades ago when the book was Labor's Untold Story, right, David, from the UE? I don't think we need to say that anymore. I'm doubly honored to receive this award from a foundation named for Sidney Hillman. As you've heard, he was one of our most effective and visionary labor leaders. He made democratic social unionism a reality in the Amalgamated Clothing Workers, a union that lifted several generations of immigrant workers out of poverty. I'm triply honored to be receiving a prize named for Sol Stetin. He was a union leader, as you've heard, cut from the same cloth as Sidney Hillman. He too was a visionary and a brilliant tactician. I still remember going into Filene's in Boston and telling them not to carry those J.P. Stevens sheets. And I'm still inspired in my public history work by the example Sol set when he helped transform the Botto House near Paterson, New Jersey, his hometown, into the American Labor History Museum. Like so many of our best and brightest union activists, Sol Stetin had a deep and abiding interest in history. He thought the history of workers should be read and understood not only by union workers, but also by students and the public at large, and so do I. We have some of the greatest and most dramatic stories in American history to tell. If we tell these workers' stories with power and passion, they will find their public audience. Since I first started writing about workers and their struggles for Radical America magazine more than 30 years ago, I've hoped my work would reach Union people like Sol and the workers he represented. I still believe that as we struggle to strengthen and expand the Union movement, we should take history to heart. The intelligence and imagination, the courage and tenacity required for that task, the qualities Sol Stetin embodied, may be summoned in part from the stories we tell about the past. Two of the most important prizes a historian can win are named after two Harvard-educated Yankee gentlemen, George Bancroft and Francis Parkman. Now, even though I'm a Boston Red Sox fan, I have nothing against Yankees. That is, I mean Yankee historians. People in pinstripes who play for the Yankees are another story. In any case, it's a great honor for any historian to win a prize named after one of those Yankee gentlemen, Bancroft or Parkman. But for this historian, it's a far greater honor to receive a prize named after an immigrant working man named Sol Stetin.